Greetings from deep inside woke territory. This is Hereward the Woke, and I'm steadily repelling the neo-Nazi Normans from our territory. The Ukraine war is just like the culture wars, isn't it? This week, dear old Boris made the same mistake and sparked fury after comparing the Ukraine war to Brexit. Well, he's right, isn't he? The Ukraine war is utter shit and leading to massive death and destruction, just like Brexit, and was started by a far-right libertarian nutter. This week we were told that a teacher taught students flat earth theory and said LGBTQ plus people are from Satan. That's going a bit far, isn't it? But don't forget, teachers in the UK are supposed to teach that there's nothing wrong with British history and slavery was nothing to be ashamed of. It happened, so put up with it. If the earth had been flat, perhaps Francis Drake and John Hawkins' ships would have fallen over the bloody edge. A court inquest decided, or rather guessed, that a missing RAF gunner died after being tipped into a bin lorry. So nobody did anything wrong, it's alright, and it's okay for bin men to kill people, isn't it? Don't forget, these National Front idiots moan if your recycling is wrong, but they are ready and willing to kill people and dispose of their bodies. Apparently 7 people, including rough sleepers and revellers, have died in bins between 2013 and 2018. And that's the ones we know about. That's the same fucking number as the Yorkshire Ripper. But it's alright, they're bin men. Yes, we're in the middle of a war, and UK oligarch Alisher Usmanov said he sold his mansions before sanctions were applied to him. So that's another thing that Boris said he was going to do and didn't achieve. Seems a bit of a bloody coincidence that he sold up when he did. But he did give the Tory party 3 million. So that's 3 million reasons for someone to tip him off, isn't it? The Merry Monarch Prince William was in Jamaica this week, cavorting about with the descendants of slaves before wringing his hands and talking about his profound sorrow about slavery. But not enough sorrow for him to get his wallet out and try to repair the damage done by his ancestors. Not only did William's ancestors not do anything to stop slavery, they actually wanted it to go on. For example, his ancestor, William IV, that's a bit of a coincidence because our William's William V. So that's the great, this goes on for a bit, great-granduncle of William, and voted against the anti-slavery bill in 1807 in the House of Lords. That's disgusting, isn't it? He wanted slavery to continue. So, along with his other uncle, Andrew, who has just had to pay out 7 million to an underage girl he molested. You've got a pretty bad bunch of uncles there, William. You're a fraud. I think you should match that 7 million and give it to bloody Jamaica. This week, the press's hero, Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins, was found dead in bed and had 10 different drugs in his body. How do you take 10 different drugs? You would have thought by the time he'd taken 4 or 5 he would have been too stoned to take them out of his bloody pocket. We were reminded this week by The Sun that Vladimir Putin tried to kill his arch-rival, Alexei Navalny, by poisoning his pants, then jailed him on trumped-up charges. Arch-rival? That's a strange way of putting it. Alex Navalny is the leader of the social liberal opposition in Russia. Arch-rival makes him sound like an enemy of Dick Dastardly and Muttley. That's rather like Boris Johnson poisoning Keith Starmer's underwear and putting him in Dartmoor prison, which if the Sun has its way, would probably happen. Again, the newspaper of the Jabs Army, The Sun, reported how a father in the USA built a 10,000 square foot nuclear bunker out of 42 school buses where he planned to rebuild civilization. He's one of those cranky Yankee survivalists who have got so much to hide they have to live in nuclear bunkers away from the rest of society, who of course they oppose. But I would like to know what happened to all of the children who were on the bloody school buses. The Sun doesn't dare tell you that, do they? This week, Vladimir Putin joined in the National Front Press's war against woke by supporting J.K. Rowling. According to the press, we are woke lefty loonies, the woke mob and the woke brigade. The same press support Ukraine against Russia, but only 'cause they would look bad if they bloody didn't. Look, you far-right losers, Putin is also using the woke war to defend himself and his attack on murdering Ukraine children. This woke nonsense is the same sort of lies that Putin is telling, and the National Front press is as dangerous as bloody Russia, isn't it? This has been TWTWs, Hereward the Woke, leading us wokes in the culture wars against the creeping Nazification of the UK. I got that from Vladimir, which is real, however. See you next week. Doesn't time fly when there's a war on?